Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas and welcome to the 9th video in a series of game development tutorials on how to make your own 3D platform game in Unity 6. This tutorial will be adding in a finish line to the end of our level and will work in and fade out. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload. Feel free to leave a comment and drop a like. I also have a Patreon page where you can help be a part of this channel, and you'll also find all the scripts and the assets to this series there too, along with plenty of other things. You can also now join as a free member. Now, on with the tutorial. So obviously fading in and fading out is quite a crucial part of most video games, whether it is a platform game or whether it is any type of game really. So what we'll do is we'll first start by adding in a finish line somewhere around here. So when we get to this finish line, we will basically play a little sound to say well done, and then we will fade out. So I want to first take a cube out of just this little bit here, and we'll create a new prefab that is going to be our end of game. So let's go to here, and I want to let's take this one here, hold Control, press D, and then drag it out of the prefab. So drag it all the way up here, and it should turn white. That means it's no longer part of the prefab. I'm going to bring it to round about there. In fact, what I will do is I'll make a duplicate of this prefab as well and put it round about there, just so we've got a nice big space to have a finish line. So now what we'll do is we need to import a texture for this. So let's go to our textures folder down here, and I'm going to import this texture, and as always you can download this. It's in the pinned comment as well as the description. Head to there and you can download it for free. Just make sure you extract it out the zip file first. I'm going to rename this to finish line, and then I'm just going to drag and drop that texture onto there. And we've played around with materials before. You know the score by now. You know how you can modify this if you wish to. You just need to go to the materials and play around with it, do whatever you want. For now though, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate it just a couple of times just to bring in a nice finish line like so. And what I'll do now is I'm going to hold Control, press D to duplicate it once again. However, I am going to name this as Finish Trigger, because this particular object is not going to be visible. It's going to be an object that we can not see but serves as a trigger to finish the level. So in order to do that, we just need to untick Mesh Renderer and make the scale on the X 4, and then just shift it into place like so. In fact, we can put that as minus 11.5. So that fits nicely on top. And we also need to tick is trigger on the box collider. Next thing, let's make this a prefab. In fact, no, do you know what? Let's not make this a prefab just yet. We need to put the script on the trigger first, don't we? Let's do that. I'd say what we can do as well, just as a quick little one-off thing. Let's hold Control, press D on this one. In fact, no, why are we doing that? We can just use the cubes in here. So hold Control, press D on the ground, take the blue out, place it there, and let's just basically round the finish line. We don't have a prefab for this, so it's entirely up to you how you do it. But I just want to have that as like a little finish line. There we go. So let's now create the script for this. In fact, yeah, let's do the script. Let's do the script because that would make sense, wouldn't it? So right click, create, and let's go to a new script, and let's have this as level finish. Now there's a couple of things that we'll need to do with this. We'll need to make sure that we can no longer control our character whenever we cross the finish line, so it kind of stops. We need to play a little jingle, and then we need to fade out. So I know we don't have a fade in or fade out just yet, but we will prepare for that. So we can get rid of update, start, and annotations. We don't need them. First variable, serialize field. We'll have this as a game object, and we'll have player control. So this is where we're going to end up turning off the controls for the player. Next, serialize field, and we'll have this as audio source. And this one will be for playing a little jingle. So level jingle. The next one, actually, we're going to serialize field, and this is going to be a game object again, because we're going to turn off the background music, because it's going to sound a little bit weird when two things play together that shouldn't really be playing. So we'll have this as level BGM. And finally, oh, we didn't add the semicolon at the end there. Finally, we're going to have another game object, and this is going to be fade out, semicolon. So you can see at this point, this is how quickly we're kind of coding things, because we know what we need to do. We just need to approach it one step at a time. We know the 4 things that we're going to do in the script, so let's declare those 4 things as variables. Let's then get the method in place and do those 4 things that we want to happen. So the method is going to be on trigger enter. So void on trigger enter. Remember, capitalization. And it does not need to be private, so we can get rid of that. And we can keep the collider other inside the parentheses there. So like I said, we know the 4 things that we want to happen. We just need to know how to make them happen. So firstly, we need to establish how to turn off the player control. So if we head back into Unity and we go to our player down here, and if you recall, we do have this player control script right there. Let's turn that off. So let's go back into Unity and say player control dot get component, and in spiky brackets player controls open close bracket dot enabled equals false. So what we're doing there is we're turning off that component that controls the player. Therefore we can't move around and do stuff after we've completed the level. Next thing, we say level BGM dot set active equals in brackets, apologies, is false. So we've turned off the background music. Next, we need to play the level jingle. So level jingle dot play open close bracket semicolon, and the final thing we need to do is do the fade out. So fade out dot set active, and in brackets true, semicolon, and save. And if you have any problems with this script, as always, pinned comment, download it there. So we've got our level finish script in place. What we need to do now is make sure that we have everything else in place in the Unity engine. So let's head back into Unity, give it a moment just to compile, and we'll import the jingle for our game, as well as creating a fade in and fade out. Like I say, by the end of this little section here, it will all make sense. So if we go to our finish line, our finish trigger it is, and let's add in level finish onto there. Scroll down and you can see a couple of variables there. So player control, let's add the player to there. The level jingle we will import in just a moment, and the BGM, which is on level controls and BGM. Make sure we don't do BGM 1. Make sure you do the top level BGM. The reason for that will become apparent a little later on throughout this series, because we're going to do some different things. So just make sure you do attach BGM to that right there. Next thing, let's bring in the rest. So on effects, we've got gem collect. Hold control and press D on gem collect. And let's rename this to level jingle. Next thing, let's go to our FX folder down here in our project window, and let's import the complete level sound. There we go. Again, make sure you unzip this. It is in the pinned comment. And now just drag and drop complete level onto level jingle, and then head back to our finish trigger down to our script, and then drag and drop level jingle. So we've got 3 things in place. Let's now create the fade out. Now remember last time when we created the canvas down here? Well, we can use that again to create a fade out effect. And to do that, we need to go to game object. Let's go to UI and let's go to raw image. Let's have this called fade out. And let's double click. Zoom out, and we can see that it is just a little white square in the middle of the screen. Let's make this something useful. You can have it white, you can have it black, you can have any color you want at all. I'm going to have mine as black because I want to fade out to black, but again, entirely up to you. And what we need to do is set the anchoring position to this bottom right one here, which is stretch across both horizontal and vertical. Next, we need to set this as 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And what that will do is it will cover the entire screen. The final thing we need to do with this particular object right now is to make it completely see-through. So back on the color, make sure you set your alpha as 0, and that will make it completely see-through. So the object is there, we can just see straight through it. The final step to making this fade out is to create an animation. So let's go to our assets and let's right click, create, folder, and we'll call this animations. Now we've dealt slightly with animations and how to use them in Unity, but we've never created an animation. So that's what we need to do now. Let's head into our animations folder, make sure we have the fade out selected, and then click on the animation tab. Next thing you need to do is click on create. So we're going to call this fade out, and you'll see some bars appear, a couple of options here, but the one we need most is this record button. We're going to record an animation, but best way to do this is to do it all via numbers. And the way that this animation is going to work is we're going to animate the opacity or the alpha of this object. So currently the very first keyframe, which is where the line is, frame 0, should be set at what we need to have it as its default. And currently no keyframe is set. So what we need to do is change the alpha here to any number at all and then set it back to 0. And what that will do is it will set the keyframe just here. That means that this animation will always start the way it looks right now. How fast do you want this to fade out? 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? Well, we can do it in frames. Always think of 60 frames per second, but you can also see down here that there is 1 second there. So if we do 2 seconds, let's do frame 120. So by the 120th frame, which is after 2 seconds, we want our alpha to be completely black. So we want to give it the fade out effect over the course of 2 seconds. If we press the record button once again, it will stop the animation and it will save it. And if we press play, we should be able to see the fade out animation happen over and over again. So we should know that this works as intended. If we give it a moment just to compile everything, head into Unity, and the first thing we should see is the game fading out to black, or whatever color you have it set as. Cool. So next we need to change that animation to only play once. So let's go to fade out here in animations. It's the little triangle, and untick loop time. Next thing to do is click on fade out itself and untick in the inspector panel. What that does is it will turn the object off. So if we press play now, nothing will happen. No fading will occur. Just need to give it a moment just to build it, put it into game view. Perfect. No fading has happened. So the very final thing we need to do to get this all working is to go to our finish trigger right there and then attach that fade out to the variable. So fade out right there. And now this should be in a position for us to test it and make sure it all works as intended. So if we press play now, we should be able to play the level, but as soon as we get to our trigger at the end, we should be able to stop the music, play the jingle, player won't be able to control, and fade out will occur, signifying the end of our level. Let's give this a test. Here we go. Are we ready? So we can still collect. Perfect. But let's get to the end of our level. Awesome. So one thing I did notice there is that we kind of kept running even though we weren't doing anything. So let's change that script a little bit more now, and let's make sure that we play the idle animation as soon as we get to the finish itself. So what we need to do is below where we have player controls enabled is false. We will say player control dot get component, and in bracket, the space bracket, sorry, animator. Now we've done this before, haven't we, when we dealt with the player controls? So dot play, and in brackets and quotes idle. and semicolon, and save. What I might do as well is shrink the actual area size of the completion area, just so it's like we can kind of step onto the finish line and then it will finish. As soon as Unity has compiled that, it shouldn't take a moment. There we go, it's doing it now. And let's go to the, where is it? Finish trigger. Let's double click to zoom in. And I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit. So I'm going to have the scale as probably maybe 3.5. And we'll have it as 0.75, round about there. So let's try this one more time and see how this looks in our game. Tell you what, it's taking a couple of moments just to go into play, isn't it, every single time? I do apologise. There we go. So it's working now. Let's test this out and then we'll create our fade in and then that should look quite good. Awesome. There's the end of our level. So now let's create a fade in. So the way we created the fade out was kind of cool. We experienced something, but let's see how quickly and cool you can create that fade in. So let's replicate that process, except do the animation in reverse. Ready? Game object, UI, raw image, fade in, change it to stretch, zero out everything at the top, change it to whatever color you want, double click so we can see the full thing. Then let's go to animation, create, fade in. I want this to fade in a little bit quicker, so I'm going to start with my first keyframe as alpha, any number, and then set it to 255. And then 1 second in, let's set the alpha as 0. And then stop the animation, back to project, click on fade in, untick loop time, press play. Look how quick and cool that was. Once you know what you're doing with these things, it's amazing how quick you can create something which may seem complicated at first, but it really isn't. So we should fade in quite quickly into our game. Cool. Awesome. So I'm really, really happy with what's happening there. It's up to you whether you want to work with, you know, different color fade screens. It really is. It's your game at the end of the day. You create it how you want it to look. Next time what we'll do is we will create a way of restarting our level. So for example, if we fall off of the ledges, we need to reset everything and start the level again. And that comes with some scene playing around with and some coding as well. So remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.